Well, good morning, everybody. Finally, I can speak at ease. When I'm dealing with 60 seconds, I really feel like I'm sprinting. And I actually woke up to the thought that if I move the lamp a little bit, I'll actually get rid of some of that glare on that picture. And I love that picture because he has a receding hairline like me. Working as a carpenter. Jesus worked as a carpenter. He earned a living just like we're supposed to, right? Okay, so we're talking about Michael the Archangel. I'm doing this for a special friend. His name, Michael, a nice young man, and his father that I really admire. Very nice people. But I think it's an important topic, so I'm glad I can take a little more time. I'll go as quickly as I can. I don't want to take up too much time. And we're going to start with the term Christophany. Christophany is when Christ appears prior to his in the Old Testament. You know, he, for example, prior to him becoming personified through the man Jesus, um, he appears in different ways. For example, the burning bush, and in multiple ways, especially the term the angel of the Lord. Um, that's Jesus demonstrated. Now, Merriam-Webster Dictionary gets it completely backwards, which does not shock or surprise me, or it shouldn't you. They say it's after he was born. No, it was prior. But oh well, that's what we get. Now, so we've discussed that. So the concept of Michael the Archangel is really angel is a messenger, and the ark concept is the message. So the greatest messenger delivering the greatest message. That's something to consider carefully. And I have 9 different scriptures to discuss. And I'm going to put on these glasses because I'm going to have to review my cards and speak from them. Exodus 3, verse 2 says, "And the angel of the Lord appeared to him, Moses. And he was shocked that the bush was not consumed." So Moses he said, "Who are thou? Who are you?" And he says, "I am that I am. Tell them I am sent you." But Moses, as he was speaking to Jesus, the Christophany concept in action, um, he was ordered to remove his sandals from his feet. And he did. He was not dealing with the Father, and he was not dealing with the Holy Spirit. The concept is that the angel of the Lord, that's one time when the term angel of the Lord is used, and he is instructed to remove his sandals, and he does so. It wasn't the Father or the Holy Spirit, only leaves Jesus. Okay, so let's see, we'll continue from there. Um, and that's Exodus 3, verse 5, where Moses is instructed to remove his shoes, and he does so, his sandals. Genesis 32, verse 25, is when Jacob becomes Israel. He wrestled with the angel, as you recall. He wrestled, and eventually he had to dislocate his hip. And the sinew of the hip, the Israelis would never eat from animals because it was reduced in Jacob, and he had to hobble along. In verse 26, Jacob says, "Let me go." Well, the angel says, "Let me go. Daybreak is coming." And he says, "Not until you bless me." Do angels bless people? No, they don't bless people. Um, or carry out orders or change names. You know, so the concept is this angel of the Lord, Christophany in action again in the visage of a man. He's telling Jacob, "Your name now is Israel," and he blesses Jacob after he dislocates his hip, but he blesses him. And angels don't bless people or change people's names. The Lord does that. In verse 30, the place of wrestling Jacob called Penuel. Uh, and that means, "For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." So he named the place with that word, which discusses wrestling with God face to face. So in essence, Jacob defined who the angel was. Jacob defined the angel as God. Who wants to argue with that? I don't. Okay, so that's Genesis 32:25, and verse 30 is when Jacob called the area that they wrestled in Peniel, if I can say that right, Penuel. But you get the point. Jude 1 verse 9. There's only one chapter in Jude, okay, but verse 9. And this is when the devil's disputing with Michael over the body of Moses. Michael came to resurrect Moses, and how do we know that? Because he was there at the Transfiguration with Abraham and Moses. So he was there with them. Do angels have the power to resurrect people, from death? The devil was in conflict with him. He said, "Wait a minute." He lost his temper at the waters of. Sorry, I forgot the name of the waters. But he lost his temper. He was trying to demonstrate how he has no right to Moses. But the Lord said, "The Lord rebuke you," and he had to stand down. But angels having the power to resurrect, and who is Jesus? Jesus is the resurrection and the life. So he resurrected Moses, brought him back to life, and the devil fought him over it, tooth and nail. He wanted Jesus to forsake Moses and let him lay in the grave, but the Lord said, "The Lord rebuke you," and himself rebuking him. Another Christophany, where Michael is fighting over Moses, and they do not have the power to resurrect. Daniel 12:1. At that time, discussing at the very end of time, when as Michael sits, he's a judge listening, just like in a court. But when a judge stands up, time for testimony is over. Whatever has been demonstrated, now the sentence will come. So, at the time, Michael will stand up. That's when he takes off his priestly robes and puts on his kingly robes, and this marks the end of time. Probation closes, and those who are filthy remain filthy. Those who are holy remain holy. There were still people walking around, just like with the ark. 7 days prior to the flood, he closed that door, and people were still getting married and planting vineyards and doing all kinds of interesting, wicked things. But he'll stand up. Probation coming to an end. And that's a lot of power for an angel, don't you think? That when he stands up, it would signal the end? No, it's not just an angel. Michael the Archangel. It's Jesus standing up, saying, "Enough." And let me see. Yeah, so that's a lot of power for an angel. Gabriel, for example, he would never be able to stand up and end the beginning of the end. Signal that when things start to go very funny. And it also states in Daniel 12, verse 1, that he is our advocate. Well, who advocates for us? Who's the advocate? There's only one. Not an angel. You see most angels, when people try to bow down to them, they say, "Don't do that. I'm your fellow servant. Get up." Well, Jesus is the advocate for his people. So all of this power is not in the hands of angels, but it is the hands of Michael the Archangel. Genesis 16:7 through 10. Well, actually, this is Hagar, and she fled from Sarah, and she was terrified, and the angel of the Lord found her. Christophany. In verse 10, and the angel of the Lord said, "Return to Sarah and submit yourself to her, and I will multiply your seed so that no one can count it." Do angels have the ability to multiply somebody's seed? Do angels have the ability to multiply anything? No, they're servants. They're destroying angels. They're protective angels. There's angels that keep a dreadful record of everything you say or think. No, they don't. But you know who does? Jesus. He has the ability to say, "I'll multiply your seed. I will." That's a big deal. Joshua 5:13. Now Joshua, he was just prior to attacking Jericho. He's right on the precipice. They had marched around 13 times, or were going to begin marching around 13 times total, and then blow the trumpets. The walls of Jericho come down. But prior to the attack, it's like it was prior. Prior to the attack, he looks up. And he beholds a man standing across from him. And he notices this man, Christophany, is holding a sword in his hand. And they look into each other's eyes. And Joshua says, "Are you here for us or against us?" And then Jesus says in verse 14, "Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord," and in other words, he was saying, I'm neither for you or against you. I am here as a special representative. He says, "Nay, but I am the captain of the host. The Lord," captain of the hosts of the Lord. Yeah. Again, being a host, being a soldier, Christophany, that'll be the last time I mention that. And Joshua fell on his face. He fell on his face, became fully prostrate. And if you look at 5:15, that angel of the Lord said, "Take off your sandals. Remove your sandals from your feet. The ground you're on is holy ground." And Joshua fully complied. Again, when angels came in front of other people and they would fall to the ground, the angels would say, "Do not do that. Do not do that." But when this angel, the angel of the Lord, was before Joshua prior to the attack of Jericho, his sandals were removed. He was told in 5:15, "Remove those sandals. Remove them. Only your feet on dirt, because this is holy ground." So Michael was demonstrating that, and Joshua saw it and knew it. Another form of, I'm not going to mention that. Judges 13, 17, and 18. The angel of the Lord came to Samson's parents before his birth, before he was birthed. Prior to that, the wife was barren. Now, sadly, the wife's name isn't mentioned, but the father does speak up, and he says, he inquires as to the name of this visitor, the angel of the Lord. And Jesus asked him back, "Why do you ask my name?" And then he says, "It is wonderful." How is the Lord referred to? In many, many different ways, but one of those ways is wonderful. Wouldn't we agree about that, folks? Wonderful? I think he is. I think he's heavenly. I think it's just wonderful. Just so grateful to be on this side with the sheep and not the goats. Other translations might say secret, but no, he was involved with, he wanted to inform them that I am here to tell you that Samson cannot have hard liquor. He can't do a bunch of things. He can't cut his hair. He laid down the law, and his parents were very quick to observe all that he said. Yeah. Revelations 12:7. And there was a war in heaven again with Michael against the dragon. So we know who the dragon is, right? The dragon is Satan. Now, Michael, is that just some angel like Gabriel? Who, no. Michael was Jesus. Jesus was at war with Lucifer, the deceiver. He was at war with, there was evil and there was good. And not the Father, not the Holy Spirit, it was Jesus. The term that I said I wouldn't use again. But the concept is, we know who the dragon was. That's not a big discussion. But Jesus was Michael the Archangel doing battle with the dragon. We know that, let me see. Yeah, we know that Jesus went to war against the devil. That's a given. Now, 1 Thessalonians 4:16, we're at 15 minutes. I'll be quick. 1 Thessalonians 4:16, for the Lord himself, so that defines who's coming down, shall descend from heaven with a shout, with a trumpet. And this is when everything goes funny. With the voice of the archangel. Now, if Jesus isn't Michael, why would he have Michael's voice? You hear my voice? How would you like it if I was talking like Minnie Mouse? Wouldn't that be peculiar to you? I think it would be. And if I hear my daughter's voice, hey, guess what? I recognize that, right? Animals recognize voices. How did when there were 4 or 5 different flocks of sheep in Israel feeding at one watering hole, how did the sheep know where to go when they were finished? They recognized their shepherd's voice. Now, if he's coming down from heaven, if the Lord himself is coming down from heaven with the voice of the Archangel, Michael, do we want to reassign that voice to somebody else? For those who have ears, let them hear. For those who have eyes, let them see. And could it be that I'm finished? No, I think I am. Well then, okay, great. So 9 pieces of evidence. And I think that this really concludes. Now for my 2 friends, Michael being one of them, 27-year-old young man, this video is not only for you, but for everybody else. And friends, subscribers are nice, and I'm grateful for my whole 16 subscribers, which I'm grateful for. But would you do me a favor? If you find that these are helpful, would you share them? I get no benefit from sharing. And I'm not really interested in any kind of, oh, I'm going to just really go, I'm going to really quit my job. Wrong. I got a job to do, just like you do. Would you please share and continue to study, because you have a job to do, friends, and your job is not to neglect the Bible. Again, the concept of a telescope. If you look at a telescope, it's useless. If you look through it, you can see very far away. A Bible sitting on your table, not helpful. Pick it up, read it, investigate these scriptures, see what you think, and I want to thank you all for coming and visiting me. And daughter, have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye-bye, everyone.